Hello, welcome to Cull the Weak Card Talk. I'm Brobnar89.
I'm Shaka.
Today we're going to be looking at another set of linked rarity cards. The first card in the series is called Larva. It is a 1 power, 0 armor, rare creature. It is an insect, and it reads Hazardous 6. Action, return a Cocoon from your discard pile to your hand. Obviously, we have not yet gone over what a Cocoon is. You can probably guess that that is one of the two cards that is linked in rarity to Larva here. 1 power and Hazardous 6 is not super inspiring. It's going to sit there for a while. It's going to be kind of hard for your opponent to address it, but I don't think they're going to be too worried about addressing it. You know, it's not going to do too much. It can reap. It can return a Cocoon. A damage pip can take care of it. Nothing too exciting out of the Larva here. What are your thoughts on Larva in isolation here?
I don't really see it doing much. You can store some amber on it. It dies to
that's true.
Any damage.
Not going to be sticking around long if you're playing against MM, that's for sure.
Pretty useless.
Uninspiring. All right, let's look at Cocoon.
All right, Cocoon is a 2 power, 6 armor creature, and it has an amber pip on it. Play, destroy a friendly larva. If you do not, destroy Cocoon. Action, return a butterfly from your discard pile to your hand. So the larva can chain into the Cocoon, and you get an amber pip, 2 power, 6 armor. Well, the good news is, if you don't have the larva, you can still play this card. It'll go into the trash.
Yeah.
So that's okay. Then whenever you draw the larva, you could do the action the next time you go into Untamed. It's pretty slow.
Pretty slow. And then you get the 1 amber pip. I would be a little bit more excited about it if it had 2 amber pips on it. Yeah, I don't really see how this is super useful. Like, your larva needs to be out. So if you get the larva first and then it dies, this is not going to be very useful because it can't come into play. All it is an amber. That's all it's going to do.
Yeah, it becomes blank.
Yeah.
With the 1 amber pip, which is not a very good card. On the other hand, the larva doesn't have to be ready. So if you play the larva and then immediately play the Cocoon, then you're in a decent condition.
That's true. If you have both in your hand, it's okay. You get the 2 power, 6 armor creature on the board. You get the amber pip for 2 cards out of your hand. It's not getting a lot done. Not doing too much there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the next card we're looking at here in the series, and the final one in the series, is called Butterfly. This is a 9 power, 0 armor creature. It also has an amber pip on it. It is also an insect. And it reads, play, destroy a friendly Cocoon. If you do not, destroy Butterfly. And it has a fight reap ability, fully heal Butterfly, and gain 1 amber. So again, you run into the sequencing issue. You know, if Butterfly is in your opening hand, you can play it for an amber and then, you know, hope that you can get the sequencing correct to recur it later. But doesn't seem like that's going to be super easy to do. And I guess once it's on the board, it's kind of hard for some decks to deal with a 9 power creature. But if you've got any spot removal, it's just going to be gone. You know, I'd rather have a Dew Fairy.
Yeah. I'm speechless. I mean, what would the other ones do and that we covered before? Like Logos, you destroy everything and unforge a key.
That seems a little bit better.
Yeah. And then the Dark Discovery, I think you can forge a key at no cost. Like, I get a creature that has the same effect as Khalifi Dragon, which I could have played like without doing all this like larva cocoon stuff. There was a series in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like the Petite Moth and whatever. There were other cards in the series, and like it did something pretty similar. And like that series of cards, like even worse than this, which difficult to contemplate, but like the sort of larva to butterfly thing has like never worked in a trading card game because they never make the effect like strong enough to justify all the hoops you have to jump through.
Right.
Maybe there's some trading card game. If someone in the comments like played a trading card game that like even in Pokemon, like Butterfree, is it good?
It's a lot of steps. It's a lot of steps to focus on that don't really drive towards you forging keys, which is how you win. Like,
yeah, and it's fight reap. Like, come on, fully heal, but heal effects are just they barely matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it should have been play forge a key at current cost or for free or something.
Mm-hmm.
And this fight reap is like a nice bonus, but that's really all you're getting. That's like getting a lump of coal. Just wow, unbelievable.
Let's try to think about the cards in this set that support this. So we covered the witch that does recursion. So, you know, if you've got your Cocoon out and your butterfly's already in the discard, you could recur the butterfly with the witch. So there's a little bit of support there. There's all the bursting of power, which could help you, you know, keep around the pieces until you're ready to play the butterfly. But I think you can tell from the tone of my voice that it's just... You can.
Yeah, we're really, really grasping here to find value.
I'm trying.
Yeah, why don't I just put some power counters on like Youngest Bear and reap gain 1? Or
yeah,
this is in the running for the worst rare in the game.
It's bad. It's very bad. You do not want this. Looking back at the much better set that you mentioned earlier from Logos, it seemed easier to do with the logo suite because there's quite a bit of efficiency in archiving. So it's going to be easier to pull that off than actually getting up to Butterfly here. And unimaginably better, just like way, 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 way better. And same with the Unfathomable one. Like that one lets you forge a key for free if you can pull it off. And you don't even necessarily need all the pieces for the Unfathomable one.
Yeah, the butterfly, it doesn't interplay ready. What does it do? I mean, it get banished? Or
like, can you imagine going through all the steps to get this into play, and you finally play it, you get the one Amber Pip, and then your opponent plays Implosion?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, if it had like 90 power, like that would be pretty nice because you could have a good setup with a Waste Knot.
Which is not even unheard of in this set. There's a creature you can set up with 100 power in this set, and this is 9.
Yeah, it's barely stronger than NARP. I mean, actually, NARP is a much better card than this, I think. Like, this is really down there with Ozmo the Martianologist, and it might be worse because it's 3 different cards in your house.
That's the worst part of it.
Yeah, like Ozmo, okay, it just doesn't do anything. It's a 2-power creature, just blank.
Is a body, you might get a reap.
You might have 2 other pips, you know, Twin Bolt Emission or Library Access. Like, there are other good cards in Logos that you'd rather see than Larva or Cocoon. So it's just...
Well, this definitely takes the cake for the worst card we've covered on Card Talk so far. Very uninspiring. We never promised we would only bring you good cards. This is a far cry worse than Evil Twin Kaup. If for no other reason, just because it takes up 3 cards, like you said.
Yeah. I mean, even Grommet doesn't do that. You can discard Grommet. You can discard the Evil Twin Kaup. Sure, you could play these and get Amber, but they're taking up like cards that actually do stuff in your deck. And they had to put it as an action. It couldn't even be like Reap or something. You have to waste the usage to put the creature in your hand.
Okay, maybe that's something to think about. What would we need to change here to make this viable, or at least interesting?
So Larva being basically doing nothing, I think you can get by with that. I think the Cocoon needs like a good passive effect, and the Butterfly needs to have like much better effects than what it has.
Yeah.
Like maybe even if it was like, okay, you fully heal it, and like for every damage healed, like you gain amber or something.
That could be interesting.
Or it has the invulnerable something.
Something to make it worth all that effort you put in to get it out there.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, why would I even want to trigger this action? I'm not sure that's worth 1 amber. I mean, I guess you get a pip for playing it, so I suppose it's compares favorably to reaping in that limited circumstance.
You're right.
Yeah, and okay, so I played it and it was destroyed. Then I got the cocoon out somehow. And then I action and I get it back and I got 1 more amber. So that's all right.
Another way to improve it might be like if butterfly has a destroyed effect, like gain like 4 amber or something like that.
Yeah. Or if it had 2 pips. That's probably wouldn't even cut it. I think it's going to be pretty difficult to trigger this. I mean, giant creatures weren't that easy to play.
No.
And like they came with a search card.
Yeah.
Like this, there's no search here.
Yeah.
Your larva and cocoon have to live for you to get it out of your discard.
Yeah.
Only. It's coming took from your discard or your deck.
Miserable card.
Yeah. No, it's just shameful. But they got to make bad cards. The creator said that. Richard Garfield, he said that we don't make every card good. So I don't view this as like, oh, the designers are incompetent. How could they make this?
No.
Like there is a space in games to have cards that are bad. And they succeeded here in creating a pretty bad card.
And that is like one of the things Richard Garfield said in his interview on the Cull of Discovery podcast is he said like the way that I'm going to badly quote him here is that one of his issues with Magic was that if you made a card too powerful, everyone would put it in. And there were some cards that were interesting, but not powerful enough. So people just wouldn't use it. And that is part of the beauty of Keyforge is that if this is what your deck has, you have to figure out how to make it work. So this is definitely fulfilling that aspect of the game.
Right. Imagine you're at a sealed vault tour and like your deck is just looking like hot fire, except it has a butterfly in it. What do you do?
You're going to figure it out. You're going to figure out how to get it done. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what makes this game fun.
I agree. Well, that's a nice spot to end. So we will close it out there. This is Cull the Weak Card Talk. Thank you all so much for watching. Once again, shout out to Arcana, our source for all our cards, all our information, all our images, everything we get from over there. So check them out if you have not already. And we will see you next week for another look at another set of cards.